Yeah.
Oh man, you already know what it is. It's about that time. You are now welcome to the Great Debate Podcast, featuring your girl Rima and Deborah Coco, right here, each and every other Friday night. Let's get it.
Everybody, welcome to the Great Debate. I'm your girl Rima. I'm Dolo. We got Deborah Coco. My co-host is in ATL Bronx Week.
Yes,
Shout out to all my friends and family that are out in ATL. I hope that you guys are being safe out there and having a ball. Deborah Coco will be checking in with us in a little while. She'll be coming in live from ATL, just giving us a brief update of what's actually going on in ATL. So we can't wait to hear that brief update. Okay. But back here in New York, the Great Debate, we're actually on show number 18.
Congrats.
And yeah,
Congrats.
you know, I feel good about it. Me and Deborah Coco, we're about to change the format a little bit and, you know, get back into the debate of the topics. And I love bringing you guys, I love bringing panel in, right? And I love everybody bringing in their merchandise or their brands and breaking everything down. But we want to get back into the original format of the show, which is debating about some topics. So we're going to be having some people come in and call in live. And again, the number for you guys tonight is going to be a great, great show. The number for you guys is going to be 347-708-0216. Oh, by the way, I'll be your girl, Rima. Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
So, again, we are going to have a show. The topic tonight is on urban clothing and even expanding beyond urban. We're going to have a talk even expanding beyond urban. So we have 3 great clothing lines that's going to be in here, a lot of knowledge, and we are going to have a surprise pop-up special guest. We won't say who that is, but it's all relevant and dealing in fashion. So call your brothers who want to get on and call your sisters who want to get on, or people who are into fashion, or how do I start my own clothing line, how do I make a brand hot. Well, this is going to be the show for you. It's going to be a lot of knowledge. We have some sample items that they're bringing in for us, so that's going to be exciting, like you know, a mini fashion show. And I'm going to make sure you guys have the information for them, so that way if you do like the garments that you see today, you can go directly to the source and purchase whatever you need to be fresh for the summer.
Yes.
So, also, of course, the whole big thing, the whole big talk this week is BX Bronx Week. And I've gone every year up until this point. I'm working this year, and I'm also, like, the people who I hang with also are working this year, so they decided not to go. But it seems like it's really fun. Like, this is like the first Bronx Week that I've actually seen, like, everybody from the Bronx flying out. And I just think that's so dope. You know, people have like a negative, they try to make a negative, because I don't want to say have a negative. They try to make it negative. And I think that it's just dope that you could pick up a borough of people and go to a whole nother state, not city, but state, and just pop out. And I think that next year we should all contact Uncle Burn and P. Shout out to Uncle Burn in Paris. We should all contact them and do it even bigger than what it was this year. Because, I mean, you know, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, but I just feel like I want to support the movement, right? So it's like, you know, I'm fine, you know, holding it down here in New York, but there's a movement in Atlanta right now that I'm feeling right now. So shout out to everybody out there, and I hope my partner Deborah Coco is having a ball and you're being safe. Also this weekend, I want to touch real quick on my boy Carlton Rope-A-Dope. Gemini season is over, by the way, to all you Geminis. But, because Geminis don't go they got 2 split personalities, so they don't go anywhere. My boy Carlton Roper, who is a Gemini, switched his main event. He does it every year. We usually do a white affair on the yacht. This year he wanted to mix it up. And so tomorrow we will all be at MetLife Stadium. So if you are in New York and you didn't make it to Bronx Week, I suggest that you try to make it out to MetLife Stadium, because I promise you that's going to be the next biggest thing this weekend going on right now.
Okay.
People pulling out their clean gear, and you know they putting it on for tomorrow's event. Today party, people, so do not do the Hollywood 8 p.m. It starts at 4 p.m. 4. Okay? Shout out to my boo star, Charlie Star. I'm gonna need you to be like clap, clap, clap at like 4 o'clock. Ready. Okay? So yeah, so shout out to everybody that's going to the main event. Shout out to everybody that is in Dad, my surprise guest is calling me right now. I'm gonna kill him. If this surprise guest come through, this show is gonna really just go through the roof right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back with our first guest of the evening. Our first line is here. So just stay tuned. I'm your girl Rima. I'll be right back. It's the Great Debate.
Attention please.
DJ Smooth Ski.
Feels like the whole entire world collapsed. Busta Rhymes, MOP, what you want now? No, cut that fool. They wanna act stupid, gun butt that fool. When I cock that tone, run your damn Jones. Ran and lay you up in your own blood.
I catch you backstage, give me the keys to the Escalade. You think you cute, ho? Take off them Gucci shades. I get my dog to you, you dirty. They all 730, rock a ski mask, whether it's June or February. I take your show money, take your dro money. Yo, got that fool, cause I don't know money. For my peeps that hate slow money, I put them in the industry so they can come and take all your money. Wish I could bring pun back. One, wish I could bring pun back. One, wish I could bring pun back. One, wish I could bring pun back. Run that, run that, run that. So keep acting like you don't know where the fun's at, and I'ma show y'all where the gun's at. Yo, yap that. She try to spaz out, then smack that. Oh, you don't be rhyming, you still memorizing. Remy want them damn diamonds.
You are now welcome to the Great Debate Podcast, featuring your girl Rima and Deborah Coco.
DJ Smooth Ski. Back up, chunk, you know Biggie Smalls flips it quick and kicks it quick. You know how black get with the hoods, fatigues, with the boots, with trees, smoking weed, flipping keys, making crazy G's, hitting buckshot, let's see that open spots on the avenue. Take my loot and I'm bagging you. Pippin' hoes that drive Bobos and rodeos, blast the roll, make a wet in their pantyhose. Damn, a style is unorthodox. Grip the Glock when I walk down the crowded blocks. Just in case a nigga wanna act out, I just black out, blow they motherfucker back out.
That's realist. 50 to M.E.I.G. man. Don't try to act like you don't feel it. Biggie, 50, squeeze the trigger, leave it. For sure, we the realist. 50 to M.E.I.G. man. Don't try to act like you don't feel it. Biggie, 50, squeeze the trigger, leave it. For sure.
Throwing on the hot track, melt like it's hot wax. Put it out, all the stores, bet you can shop that. Leave a know you with a hot hat, frontin' like bad boy ain't got tracks. Stop that.
There's no guy slicker than this young fly mister. Nickel 9 liquor, floss you die quicker. Did Fed time, out of town pie flipper. Turn Chris Styles to a crooked eye slipper.
Everybody wanna be fast, see the cash. Play around they weak staff, get a heat rash. Anything a bad boy way we smash. 100 deep stash, push a bulletproof E-class. I'm through with being a player and a baller. Just want me one bad chick so I can spoil her.
Mace wanna be the one you respect. Even when your backs rock Versace silks over still V-Max. Got clean, never seen, so you suck my jewels. Clutch my ooze, anything I touch I bruise. Up make his own lord, we ain't stuck with rules. Good fellas, you know you can't touch us.
Push us, cause we're close to the edge. We're trying not to lose our head.
DJ Smooth Ski.
It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg.
You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in the air. Put it in the air. Yeah. Suck, Snoop.
Top dog, bite them all. Yeah, I'm burning it up. DP. get back up. And when they bang this in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up.
Alright, so we back. That was good, right? I'm a workout real quick. Smoothski, shout out to DJ Smoothski on the new remix. Smooth, you hitting us up right now. I love the new drops you did. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Definitely.
So, we're back. It's the Great Debate, and we're up with our first brand, our first clothing brand. I want you guys to introduce yourselves to our audience.
You wanna go first? Yeah, I can do it. My name is Cardell Graham, and I'm the CEO of Poetic Clothing Company.
And my name is Yolanda Graham, and I'm the CEO of Crowned by Poetic.
Okay, so explain to me, because you have a two-division type of clothing. First, give the viewers your Instagram page so they can know where to go check out your items.
Sure, so to find me, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook.
The producer's gonna kill you. Never hold the mic, just put it there.
All right.
You got it?
I can see him cringe.
I want to catch the lipstick.
I know, right?
All right, let me.
And I'm gonna make sure you're good, bro. You're good.
So to find me, I can be reached Facebook and Instagram at Crowned by Poetic.
Okay.
All right, and to find my brand, and you can reach me on over 50 different social media websites.
Okay.
Underneath Poetic Empire.
Now y'all spell poetic different, so tell the viewers how y'all spell it.
So it's phonetically spelled, so Poetik, because it speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
So tell me first tell me, what is your background in fashion? What was the changing moment for you when you decided, like, okay, this is what I wanted to do?
I'm gonna take this one. So we originally started with Poetic Clothing Company, and we started because my husband has sickle cell, and I have the trait, and we wanted to find a way to give back to sickle cell foundations and bring awareness to the public about sickle cell. So we figured, why not create a line that we can put that on the front of your shirt. You see someone walking down the street, you see their shirt, that's very noticeable, it's eye-catching, and it gets the conversation started. Back when we started over 10 years ago, you didn't hear that much feedback about sickle cell, and it's really prevalent in our community.
Right.
And we actually were able to get a lot of stuff done by starting that, and it did so well that I decided to branch off into something that I love, which is Crowned. And to give a little bit of background about Crowned, I love head wraps. We're Jamaican by nationality.
Your head wrap, by the way, is beautiful.
Thank you so much. We're Jamaican by nationality, and growing up, Miss Lou is a famous Jamaican poet, writer, and she always had head wraps, and I was always fascinated with head wraps, and I wear them all the time, so why not?
Sorry, our guest is just gonna come in. Y'all know how we do. We live. This is the Great Debate.
Nah, that's what's up.
So our second fashion brand has just arrived. We're gonna finish the conversation with you guys. So now you were saying to me, so Crown started initially from head wraps?
Yes, head wraps. I'm specifically head wraps.
And so what kind of head wraps do you offer women?
So this is your typical 72 inches by 24 inches, and I have all of my head wraps are satin lined, so you have the versatility of wearing either on the printed side or the satin side, so it gives you two different feels.
Right.
If you can see.
Oh.
It's more.
Yeah.
And this actual wrap, it has a total different design on the inside. So it gives
viewers,
you.
I hope you see that. That's actually so dope. But you wouldn't even know it the way you have wraps.
Exactly. It gives you versatility.
So now are all the wraps like that where you can like
you can actually wear it on either side, and the colors, it's complementary to the actual pattern on the other side. So this one, as you can see, it has the blue. So I did the blue satin lining. And then the satin also is functional because as women of color, you have to protect your natural hair. So you can wear it as a protective style and have the satin side protect your hair and still look fashionable.
Why wraps? Because I know you said he was dealing with sickle cell, and we're going to get into your story in a second.
Wraps for me, I found my beauty in just being me. And for years, my beauty was caught up in my hair and relaxing my hair and the hairstyles. And it was really damaging my actual hair. And I started wearing head wraps as a transition style to still look beautiful and presentable. And I just fell in love with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's inspiring, right, to the viewers that are listening in. Some people have visions in their head that they don't think they could put to reality.
Yeah.
And something like a rap, right? We use them every day, but our boyfriends are like, well, I don't want to be in a bed with you with a rap in your head. Like, what's going on? But if you have something like that, you actually look pretty and elegant. It might make your boyfriend actually want you a little more.
Absolutely.
I hope so.
What you think, baby?
No, I think it's dope.
Yeah?
Definitely.
He better
Right,
think
so
it's dope.
yeah, I mean, it's really dope. But and speaking of dope, getting into your story. So explain to us, like, what was the struggle and how was it that you got from the vision of your clothing line to actually putting it into production?
Well, I mean, like Yolanda said, it started out in a sense where for years we were like supporting other walks, and you know, it came to a point where it was just kind of like I didn't see anything that was talking about sickle cells. I didn't see anything that really supported it. And as far as my own story is concerned, honestly, I wasn't comfortable about talking about it until I was like in my early 30s.
Yeah.
You know, so it was something where again, like, you felt like if you brought it up to someone, it's automatically, they assume that you're either really sickly or, you know, it's all these different negative connotation that goes along with it.
Yeah.
And it was getting into the clothing brand was something I've talked about for years. And it was recently after I had a particular crisis that, you know, my wife kind of really motivated me to really get into the brand and start like making it a lot more known. And then
I just love your story. I mean, I know we're here for fashion clothing.
Yeah.
Hey, E, what's up? I know we're here for fashion clothing, but I just love it's like a fairy tale story, right? Because it's like the black woman or the woman helping and holding down the man. And it's like sometimes you, as a man, you feel like that is a big thing, a big hurdle to have to try to accomplish.
Yeah.
So to have your wife be like, baby, you really could do a clothing line, and you believe your wife, and it like comes into play, is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, you know,
it's huge.
It's definitely, like I said, so it was just
I mean,
like,
I have a whole nother story outside of your brand, is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you should be also encouraging that, because even I'm drawn to it. Like, I can just see that you guys pick off each other, and it's like you can take your brand anywhere.
No, and that was like, again, one of the main things where when we launched it, it was, you know, the core thing was to get that information out, to let people know that, you know, these genetic diseases is really something that can be easily noticed and understood.
Exactly.
And so when we started the brand, it was kind of like that, you know, let's get with the community, let's get people to really witness and understand what sickle cells is, you know, get away from the fact of the stigma of that, you know, what they assume it could be.
Right.
So that's when we launched.
I mean, even me, right? I think a sickle cell with people I grew up with, they were just always real sickly.
Yeah.
Two very important people, guys that I grew up with, they died of sickle cell in their 30s.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Dad, Leon wasn't even 30. He was in his 20s.
Yeah.
And shout out to KC, God rest his soul, 30s.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the guys that I've seen growing up, but one of the key things, even for the guys too that passed away, was like, take care of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say it, and I don't really know you don't know what you mean when because sickle cell is not like cancer or anything. You don't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
But inside, you guys are like really sick.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
you know, even for the viewers, tell me if I'm wrong. Like,
no, yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, it reacts with different people differently. You know what I mean? So, for instance, one, I wasn't even supposed to live past 17. So the fact that I'm even here goes to show that, you know, I had to at some point take my health a lot more serious. I had to change my diet. I had to do certain things that would alleviate for me being sickly or being in the hospital all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's that type of motivation that makes me want to speak to a lot more individuals and trying to get them to understand that they can take care of themselves and be in a much better position.
So now you spoke to me and spoke to the viewers about the sickle cell being your motivation as far as the line is concerned.
Certainly.
What is the vision of your fashion line, like the brand? What is the vision of it? What can my viewers expect when they see Poetic Empire clothing?
Well, I mean, it's built on many vision. At the end of the day, I mean, I want it to be where we're literally like doing everything across the board, everything from brand to beauty and health and products to damn near toothpaste. Like you know what I mean? So I mean, So the vision is that.
I'm gonna jump in also. Our clothing line, it's urban wear, of course, but my husband has a background in graffiti. So all of the designs he actually draws or spray painted it, and he creates it himself. And
Yeah.
and he's incorporated his background in graffiti into our line. It's mine too.
Yeah.
Into our line, and one of the things that we look for is a simplistic design, like not super busy, nice, simple, elegant. We have a design that he just dropped called Blessed, and everything that we do, we spell it phonetically. So this is Blessed spelled phonetically.
Yeah.
And under the brim, you have the painting of the creation. And the creation is the very popular painting of how the world was created when God touched. Yeah, Michelangelo. And we changed it to black hands because
it's the original creator.
The original creator.
So it's a lot of symbolism. Yeah. So it's not just about putting something out, but there's a lot of meaning behind every design and everything that we do put out.
It's
what
personal.
What would you say is your core target base for the brand?
Everyone.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, we started off. Of
Yo,
course,
she's good. She's good.
The reality is, we started off focusing more on I think the demographics of 18 to 25, and you know, after we started making sales and making a lot more international sales than what we actually do on the local end, between the individuals that liked it, we noticed that it expanded from 34 to damn near 50, 60.
Yeah.
You know, and it seemed to me it was only necessary to transition from one to the next. So as of right now, we touch a plethora of individuals between their age ranges because of the simplicity of certain designs, because of the culture of what it means in certain aspects and what it means to people, and most importantly, the fact that we support and touch on genetic diseases.
And it's always going to lead back to that because it allows us to have that conversation and talk to people that might not necessarily know about sickle cell and how it impacts our community as a whole.
This is one of the reasons Deborah Coco suggested we had a panel of people, and when she suggested you guys, I was like blown away when she told me what the whole entire story was. And I was like, I don't care. I really gotta have them on the panel because I mean, I fight for, my grandmother, she passed away of aneurysms, but it was the chemo that even gave her the aneurysms. Wow. And so I'm also fighting for cancer, for a cure for cancer. Yeah. When you lose somebody or you see somebody you love suffer from any type of disease, that it finally clicks. Because most people, and our people especially, we always wait till it hits home to want to get involved.
No, it's true.
And cancer, I think everybody should want to be involved because cancer is the type of thing that it's always at the 4th and 3rd stage before you even find out the person has it. So it's basically like a lost fighting battle, but there's so many, battles that my friends and I continue to fight. So when I always hear of, hey, no, you're good. So just come in and you guys have a seat. We're live. This is the great debate, people. So let's have a seat here, okay? So when you're fighting for a cause, I understand the passion. So that means that the products are gonna be good. We're gonna do the products. We're gonna show products later. We're gonna say that for the last. But just tell me if I'm like up and coming fashion, I want to get into fashion.
Yeah.
What would be my main place to go target? Is it Facebook? Is it IG? Is it a website? What would you feel like would be a great way for me to market my products?
Well, obviously the industry has changed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So again, we came in it, like I said, 10 years we've been doing this now.
Yeah.
I knew from the jump, you know, you can't go one lane.
Yeah.
So that's why I said from the beginning, we're literally on over 50 different social networking sites.
And you have to do
And
that.
Yeah.
you have to do it. You know, the reality is, like, first and foremost, Facebook is big, but it's not the biggest.
Right.
You know, it's not the
Right.
main thing that's in Africa.
Right.
You know, so you got to be a part of that social network. You got to be a part of the ones in Europe. You got to, you know, it's a global thing. So, you know, between, of course, the normal ones that you hear about, you know, the FG, the FB, the IG, and all that other stuff, you know.
That's
you gotta
pretty
be,
local.
Yeah, that's generally pretty local in a sense, but you got to be a part of everyone, you know, between emails, you know, between like
Brands. We're
different
talking
social
about
media.
branding. It has to be
Exactly.
like a massive. I mean, I'm quite sure to do production on your pieces is not inexpensive.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, we started out.
We grassroots. We started out in our living room with a screen press.
Literally.
To support his vision, I bought him a screen press, and we used to in the living room.
Ray, I don't think my viewers heard you, so I'm gonna need you to repeat that. I'm gonna need her to repeat that. Hold up. My viewers did not hear you, so please repeat that. Now this is the definition of a queen, by the way, because y'all throw that word up every chance y'all get.
To support his vision and to kind of jumpstart his vision, I bought him a screen press. And what a screen press is, it's a machine that actually allows you to press the image onto the t-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was his Valentine's Day gift. And it used to be him and I in the living room pressing shirts one by one.
Yeah.
And we tested everything. So we started from the bottom. We found shirts. We went to the fashion district to buy shirts to figure out which quality shirt worked best. We wore them. That was the only thing we wore.
That was our
to test.
that was our R&D.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
outside of our 9 to 5, that was just what we wore to make sure that when we wash it, it's gonna stand the test of time. It's gonna wear. Thread's not gonna come out. So we actually wear each design, and we wore each shirt before we said, okay, this is the brand that we're gonna go with. This is the one that we're gonna
How
push.
long did you wear your brand before you was ready to launch?
Well, I mean, it's
That's a
different.
grind.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a different type of grind, by the way.
I mean, like I said, we really you know, wanted to put, like, first and foremost, we don't want to put out something that's not going to last. I'm not going to ask somebody to spend $30, $40 on a shirt and they can only wear it 6 times. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So we wanted to make sure that the quality of the product that we was putting out was going to be the product, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we went from doing it locally when we could, but when we got too busy to do that, we then started to venture out and find actual
Vendors
distributors
that-
and stuff.
yeah.
Right.
So right
That
now,
coming after the grind.
Yeah, but you have to.
so
I
then
think
right now, the people, I'm sorry to cut you off, the people that's actually now that we deal with, they also create Polo and Red Label and I'm sorry, Purple Label. So we're dealing with those distributors. So,
Right.
you know,
Wait, because you can't just touch on that because we got a whole bunch of fashion people in this room right now.
Yeah.
What do you mean by Purple Label and these different labels? Like,
So-
so Jay-Z would throw that out there, and I
Yeah.
think people thought they knew what it meant, but I don't really think they knew what it meant.
Nah, yeah.
So explain to us what that means.
So what I'm talking about is high fashion quality
they pretty
fabric.
much get their products made from these particular vendors. So it's a set group of vendors that you can go to solicit products. The drawback to that is you have to be willing to spend a certain amount of money for them to go into production. Once we got to that stage, okay, we're gonna do this. This is the product that we're gonna run with. I think that if you are up and coming and you want to get into this industry, it shouldn't be something that, okay, I want to do this to make money.
Right.
In the onset, you need to be passionate about it. This needs to be something that you truly believe in, because it's not all gonna go uphill at first. There are gonna be months where you might not make a sale. There's gonna be months where somebody's gonna look at your design and say that's ugly, and you have to be okay with that, because if you truly believe in your brand and you believe in your designs, you love it, and that's all that matters. So if somebody else gets on board, they get on board, but you believe in it. So you have to be willing to put that work in, and you have to be willing to grind and sleepless nights. We're up. We're researching. We're contacting people. We're going out. We're networking. We're going to events. We're speaking to people. We're showing them our designs. And you also have to be willing to give some away.
So,
right.
But I mean, on
I mean,
just
you know,
to
that's yeah.
That's
but
the
just
nature
to
of
piggyback,
it.
as you were asking, as far as like again, Purple Label, that's high-end polo brand. So literally on a T-shirt for Purple Label, you're spending like at least $100 plus. So here it is now. We literally get the same fabric from the same
quality,
same manufacturers, but you know what I mean. It becomes a point where because we're not like known or we're not in the Macy's, you know what I mean. We got to figure out our price point to make sure that you know people can not only just afford them, but we got to put it out there to let them know that this is the same stuff.
We're going to go into distribution and price points when the whole round table is together, because I do want to touch on distribution, price points, the difference of how you shop and market your items.
Yeah.
I would like to do that at the full round table.
Okay.
So I want you guys to say your clothing line and brand and where they can find it at again. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll come back with our other two fashion clothing empire houses.
So again, you can reach me, Poetic Empire, on again over 50 different social networking sites. So Poetic Empire.
Y'all not leaving. Y'all gonna just come on the side with me, and they're gonna switch with y'all. Y'all not leaving because I'm intrigued by you guys. There's a lot of things that I just think that is dope about y'all, and I really do hope that your clothing line just super takes off.
Thank you.
So we'll be right back, you guys. They're not going anywhere. We're gonna add some more people to the round table. My special surprise guest is on his way in traffic, and this is gonna be a really good show, y'all. Stay tuned. I'm Rima, and this is The Great Debate.
Later.
Put it down for the father of rap. And if you happen to get cracked, trick, shut your trap. Come back, get back, that's the part of success. If you believe in the S, you'll be relieving your stress.
DJ Smooth Skin.
It's the one and only D.R.E. Dr. Dre, Lil Buff. You know I'm mobbing with the D.O.double-G. Straight off them killer streets of CPT. King up the beach, you ride to him in your fleet. Hood, Coupe de Ville, rolling on dubs. How you feel? Whoop-de-whoop. What? Dre and Snoop hitting cumblers in the lag. With Doc in the back, sipping on yak. Flipping all the amps, skipping through hood. What hood? Compton, Long Beach, Inglewood. South Central, drop to the west side. It's California love, this California bug. Got your boy a gang of pub. I'm on one, I might bell up in the Century Club. With my jeans on, and my team strong. Get my drink on, and my smoke on. Then go home with something to poke on. Locust song for the 2 triple O. Coming real, it's the next episode.
You are now welcome to the Great Debate Podcast, featuring your girl Rima and Deborah Coco.
Head, shoulders, knees, focus. Head, shoulders, knees, focus. Focus, knees, shoulders, focus. Focus, knees, shoulders, focus. Focus, knees, shoulders, focus. Focus, knees, shoulders, focus. Focus, 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 focus. Head, focus, shoulders, focus, 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 focus. Head, shoulders, knees,
DJ Smooth Skin.
Shoulders, knees, focus, yeah, shoulders, yeah, knees, yeah, going, yeah, shoulders, yeah, knees, yeah, focus, yeah, shoulders, knees, focus, yeah, shoulders, knees.
Real, give a fatter, big Birkin bag, hold 5-6 figures. Stripes on my, but we call it sticker. Known as scam it, rich. Same group of things, they don't add to the picture. Drop a couple racks, watch it get bigger. Drinking, I'm looking at your. If it's money, why eat? Can eat it like a slicker. I ain't got time for you fake. Talking all loud in them fake clothes. Fake shoes, match that fake toe. I'm the realest, never see you snake it. Act up, you could get snatched up. Act up, you could get snatched up. Act up, you can get snatched up. Dirty, yes, baby girl, you need to
DJ
It's your Miami and I can't run my sack up tight. To my page tryna track us. Brand new chain city girls going platinum. I keep a baby Glock, I ain't fighting with no random, period. You real issue serious, I let him taste the now he acting all delirious. Did a dash in the rubber like his face is furious. You see my number in his phone, now you acting curious. He gon' buy me Gucci if I ask for it. He a classy walking town for it. I bet your little sister wanna look like me. I bet your little brother wanna on me. Hood, I ain't average. He can't come around without that cabbage. Quick like a bubble gum. I ain't never worry, I just deal with it for fun. Act up, you can get snatched up. Act up, you can get snatched up. Act up, you can get snatched up. Dirty, yes, baby girl, you need to back chase.
Okay, check it out. It's Santana again, stepping out. One of them brand new big boy toys. I do big boy things, I make big boy noise. Cause, okay, check it out. It's Santana again, stepping out. Okay, check it out. It's Santana. Okay, check it out. It's Santana again, stepping out.
Girl, you feel right, make you feel like wanna do a little something. Ain't no fake much do it.
DJ Smooth Skin.
When them jeans is turning me on.
DJ Smooth Skin.
Baby, won't you ride with me?
Make it drop, honey. Make it pop, honey. Whip pop, tick tock to the clock for me. Don't stop doing that. And shorty know I mean what I say, so she won't stop doing that. Plus I heard if you could dance, you could bump. Well, dance time is up. Let's go. Yeah. We could get it in. We could get some friends, do it like the Yin Yang twins, start whispering. Let me fall back.
DJ Smooth Skin.
I woke up Chris Breezy. Oh my God, I'm the man. I'm so fly and I can dance. There's tattoos on my neck. I just FaceTime Kanye. I told him I'm his biggest fan, yeah. Got all these hoes in my DM. Holy shit, I got a kid.
Down, face up, that's the way we like them. Face down, face up, DJ Smooth Skin. Face down, face up, that's the way we like them.
Alright, you guys, we're back. Alright, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, Deborah Coco, I'm gonna need you to come back ASAP. It is hard work trying to do all this on my own, baby. Show 18, I ain't been here yet. It's my first time. But what I would like to do is welcome our next guest to the panel. Welcome you guys to the Great Debate. I want you guys to all introduce yourselves.
Mike B. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mike check.
Feel like a rapper right now.
My producer, his rule is do not hold the mic, just talk into it.
That's a fact. I understand.
Thank you.
Mike B.
Yes, Mike B is our special guest today.
That's a fact. I'm good. I'm good, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Not too much.
Frank, my mic is in the front.
Copy. Yes, sir.
Just project your voice.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You got my good side, Rima?
I'm trying to make sure. Yes, I do.
That's my good side.
Yeah. All right, you guys. So, can you reintroduce yourself? I'm sorry about that. We were adjusting the mics.
What's up, people? My name is Mike B. Fashion stylist. Your favorite fashion stylist is fashion stylist. Designer, lifestylist. You know, God-fearing man.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Maurice Mo Slinger Williams. A Father's Love is my brand, and I guess when as the conversation deepens, we'll talk about some of the things that I do. But offhand, I'm a youth developer. I specialize in dealing with young people who are incarcerated on Rikers Island, Horizons, and Crossroads.
You know we getting into that.
Yeah, so that's basically what I do. I try to go into jails and give our young boys medicine, so when they come out, they could be good.
My name is Kwame Washington. I'm actually a silent partner in The Father's Love. I actually played a role in The Father's Love movie, and I work for a gas company. I have 2 sons. I'm actually a father and a husband, and I'm a silent partner in the Father's Love clothing brand.
Okay.
That's right.
So, Mike B, me and you go way back. We go back before the money. So, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into fashion. Because when I met you, we were all pretty much young, and you were not at this level in your career. So tell us. You got a call already? Hello, caller. You're on the air. It's the Great Debate.
Hey, Great Debate. This is Deborah Coco calling and saying, hey.
What's up, Deborah Coco? This is my partner. She's out in Atlanta. She's broadcasting live from Atlanta. Deborah Coco, what's going on?
Hey, Coco.
I mean, right now, we just laying low. We relaxing. They just had a pool party. Will Tracks did his thing. Some of the DJs is rocking out. So just had the pool party. Now everybody getting dressed to go to the Opium tonight with Jim Jones.
Okay.
Right, he's tearing it up. But some people have to be invited to a mansion party. So I'm going, me and my sister's going over to the mansion party because we want to do something grown and sexy.
I know that's right.
The turn up is real.
Some grown, sexy laid back. They don't want all that rah-rah tonight. You know what I mean? So
listen, I'm not mad at you. So tell me, how was the pool party? How was the pool party? How was Atlanta? How's the food?
I'm loving Atlanta. It's my first time here. So I think it's real hospitable, like they say in my southern states. Everybody looks good. You know, we eating well down here. Some real good home cooking down here, you know.
Right.
And, you know, it's a nice vibe. I'm loving the vibe. But, you know, I got to get out tomorrow. Go to this city. We're going to go to Press and a couple of other places that I've been seeing.
I'm actually going to text you.
Right? We're going to go sightseeing a little something
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I got you, Deborah. I'm going to text you some spots. And my brother hit me because he thought I was out there. So I got some joints for you, too, where you can hit up.
Oh, yeah. Hit me up. But tomorrow we're definitely checking out SNS. We got a state party going on at the Cascade.
Now, see, that's what I want to do.
I will be.
Everybody down there. S down there, Will Tracks. Those are my homies. That's crazy.
You can't tell me nothing.
Everybody that I haven't seen in so long is nice down here. So I definitely want to call and shout out to Great Debate. My partner, Kareem Scott, is in the building. Shout out to all the guests that came through and told their stories and big friends tonight. Really appreciate it. And this is your girl, Deborah Coco, reporting live from Atlanta, y'all. Just give me the mic, Great Debate. That's what it is.
Deborah, I got so much love for you. Thank you for calling up. You just killed it and executed at the same time. Can't wait to see you back on 8/2. We back at it.
Yes. August 2nd, y'all. We're bringing it back.
All right, Deborah. Be safe.
Peace, Queen.
All right.
Anybody else that want to call up before the interview begins again, the number again is 347-708-0216. Again, our number, you can call in live, is 347-708-0216. So, Mike B, we were going into your background in fashion and how you became so important and influenced by this.
Stop it, man. Cut it out.
I mean, no, just give us a little bit of your background. For the viewers, there's a lot of young people want to get in the game. You got some knowledge for quite a few people.
Well, I kind of came into the game with a silver spoon in my mouth. I started off as Puff's first intern, and this is during the time office was probably in a little house
19th Street. Oh, Scars? You going to Scarsdale?
Yeah, we start off at a house in Scarsdale. Then, you know, as things graduated, we caught his first office at 8-10 19th Street, where I was his personal liaison, Groovy Lou's assistant to styling, Kirk Burrows, who was the general manager at the time, I was his intern. But then I was also Leote Blacknor, who was the executive assistant. I was her intern as well.
And Leote did some big, I mean, y'all had big artists under your belt. Name some of the artists at the time that you was working with.
We was working with Mace, rest in peace, B.I., 112, Locks, Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, Total. Those are the early ones right there to begin with, you know, as far as like first generation.
Mary.
And then, you know, shout out to Harv Pierre. I was also intern in promotions. So basically, at that time, it was like I was attending the University of Bad Boy Entertainment, where that was like my schooling, and I was attending free tuition, on-hand training, and I was just blessed to be able to roam the halls with the hottest principal at the time, which was Puff. And then
it took off from there.
Yeah, it took off from there. Unfortunately, due to Big's untimely demise, after that, Groove kind of like outgrew the company and started moving on doing his thing. And then that kind of put me in more of a position to where when Puff was starting Sean John, I was a co-creative director for Sean John. Now I'm becoming to be his like personal stylist.
But wait, before you go into that, because I have young viewers and they are like attached to what you're saying right now, because these brands are already established. You're giving an up and coming story. There is a huge difference in that. So before you even got to the Sean John, when you're still at Bad Boy, because that 19th Street office was before the money. It was, Puff wasn't, the numbers weren't like they were then. So
the numbers were always there.
No, I'm talking about fashion-wise. This is a fashion. We're not talking about music, right?
My fashion, or you mean the fashion back then?
No, meaning that Sean John really didn't exist on 19th Street, and then it became, he got the deal, the distribution. Right. So my thing is this. What was the difference from you working under Groovy and Harv to have him be able to trust you to help run such a company as Sean John?
Well, what happened was I didn't necessarily become his personal stylist until like later on, going into the second generation. So now we got Black Rob, Depp, Loon, Mark Curry, going into that Sean Poe, going into that next generation. So it was like, I believe it started from me just, doing all the photo shoots and the videos and the ad campaigns and people start seeing, and Puff would come to the shoots, and out of nowhere he would start asking, well, you got these in my size, and gradually I'd tell him, well, nah, yours didn't come in yet,
but
slickly,
you're trying to make yourself
but I'm
see,
still trying to,
right.
Absolutely. So later on, moving forward, when I started seeing the pattern, I would already have his stash to the side already. So then, when he comes to the set, I would give it to his assistant, and he'd be like, well, what about these in my size or in a different color? And I'd be like, well, I already hit your assistant, with your little package.
Shout out
already,
to Norma. I was just with Norma the other day.
No doubt.
So
it's funny you said Norma too, because during that time it was Norma and Trey Watt, Tracy Waples, and during that time there was like, Puff, you should just have Mike B be your personal assistant, because now everybody's really starting to take notice of what I'm doing in the company. So
how hungry was you?
I'm still hungry. What do you mean? Yeah, like
no, but everybody thinks that, not a silver spoon, but people don't think that you saying all these names is like, it's welcoming to you, it's easy, but like, I really want the viewers to really understand the hunger that it takes to do something and grow of such a magnitude.
All right, so let's take it back, man. All right. As I was an intern, first of all, I'm from Greenburgh. That's
what we were from.
Yeah, first of all, I'm from Greenburgh, White Plains, New York, right? And to get down to 19th Street, I would actually hop the Metro North train, hide in the bathroom until I get to 125, until I argue my way off the train, then jet down to the 6th train on Lexington, hop that train for the 6th train, and take that down to 19th Street. So that was coming a repetitive type of thing, right? Till when, of course I also have my whip, but sometimes it wouldn't be feasible to drive downtown because you just be getting tickets all day and all that. So what I started doing was, this was during the time where interns was getting we were getting maybe $5 and 2 tokens, right? So what I was doing was, I had a little side hustle in the office where I was selling Cron to all the executives. But then, you know, I had...
It used to be crazy.
Yeah, so, you know, my other hustle was, you know, I had my man who had the bangers. For those out in the streets who know what the bangers are and the swipes and all that, I introduced him to my man who had the flips. So once I put that marriage together, now I'm selling the flips to everybody in the industry now. So Puff used to get, they were burners, so Puff used to get like 3-4 burners from me like a week. So I told Groove, I said, yo, Groove, tell your man I'll give him like 2-3 joints for free if he just lets me be his assistant. So that's all she wrote. So moving forward, you know, that's how I became Puff's personal liaison. So being Puff's personal liaison, a lot of people didn't know was, it was hard because, well, actually, it might have been hard for everybody, but it was kind of easy for me because I was already a hustler before I was coming into this game already.
That's the mentality you're supposed to have.
Absolutely. So being able to move around in the streets, that was really light. So when I had told Leote that I wanted to be Puff's assistant, it just so happens that I knew Puff's itinerary before he actually did because Leote was his assistant. So one day Puff came into the office and I told Son like yo, right now I'm putting together, you know, a resume, because I mean this time I was probably no more than 3-4 months deep into the office. So I already had my plans already, you know, laid out already on how I wanted to move throughout this.
Did you know that it was going to be fashion though? Did you like?
Nah, I didn't.
Right,
because
it's important for the viewers.
Actually, I came into the game as a rapper before I came
I'm
to
going
Bad
to
Boy.
really jump across this table.
So Peter Paul, as a rapper, Peter Paul, and to my shout out to Peter Paul and Phil Parbone. They were my managers back then. So during this time, Phil was managing Akinelli, Fugees, and Jungle Brothers at the same time. So moving forward, they had me opening up for like Mos Def and, you know, Talib Kweli, and, you know, like early we was doing Lyricist Lounge and
so it wasn't fashion.
I mean I was already on my fashion flow, like, because, you know, we just love gear anyway from what we were doing early in the streets to get it. You understand what I'm saying? So so style was really like nothing. Like when I was little, we would, like, you know, borrow my older cousins and my uncles. We used to get their gear, and we used to do like these fake little photo shoots in the backyard, and we used to take different colored bed sheets and lay them over the clothesline. So then once we get styling in the gear, then we get the Polaroids and we start taking flicks in front of the Polaroids and just start flipping. So we were doing photo shoots early without budgets before you even know it. Even before then, when I was a little shorty on the block, all the big hustlers used to give me bread to send me downtown with their girlfriends to go shopping. So this is a time where you couldn't really even get Gucci sneakers in the Fifth Avenue store. You would have to go to Atlantic City. Atlantic City was the only spot where you can actually get the high top white on white Gucci sneakers. So I would jump on the Peter Pan or the Trailways, go out there and come back with wild duffel bags of kicks and lay everything out on the block.
Okay, so I want you to hold that thought right there because we're going to get into father love. But we're going to talk about distribution and points in a second. So I want you to just hang tight because we're going to go into that. But now, you guys, a father's love. I go in Harlem, I'm on Crime Square, all my wolves are out there, and I see all the wolves with this. I'm like, yo, what is this? What are y'all rocking? So y'all got Harlem on lock, and it's just like a Harlem thing. So I was like, yo, I need them on the show because I would like for the Bronx and other boroughs. We have viewers from all over. Give us a little bit of in-depth about your brand, the vision of your brand, and who you cater to.
Firstly, I would like to say it's an honor and a privilege to be sitting next to a brother that has so much. So
I think he brought something to the panel.
Yeah, definitely, that's a fact. You are deeply rooted in the culture. So for me, this is a level of me coming into myself. You know what I mean? So it's an honor and privilege to be next to you, King. However, so
I'm just a mirror image of what you're looking at.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's the great debate, Charles. The great.
We ain't
debate.
debating about that because we both we gotta understand it. So anyway, let me really start like this, right? So a father's love started from me being a guy that grew up in a single parent home. So I always wanted a father's love, and I didn't get it when I was young. So it led me to becoming a delinquent, all that type of stuff, right? So my relationship with my daughter, she was born while I was incarcerated. When I came home, she was 5. So she's 27 now. So, but it had some type of adverse effect on our relationship. So I was unable, her mom moved on, so they created another family structure, and I was not involved. And so it made me come up with a web series. I watched Money and Violence. I remember Money and Violence?
Okay.
So I know them guys from Flatbush. So I saw their web series. I was like, oh, that's popping. That's what's up. So, I'm a teacher as well. So I teach communication courses at the College in Rochelle and in the jails and in the schools. Yeah, so my story is deep, right? So from being an at-risk young person to coming into myself and becoming, obtaining a master's degree and becoming a professional educator is a part of my story. But the reason that a father's love came about is because I didn't receive it and I wasn't able to give it. So what I learned, one of the things I learned while being incarcerated was to channel my anger and my frustrations in a positive way. So what I did when I know the guys from Flatbush that did the Money and Violence, I was like, you know what? I'm going through this thing with my daughter and it's hurting me so bad. It's hurting me. So I wrote a rhyme about it first. I rhymed too. Mo Sling is my name, right?
I'm gonna y'all killing me with this rap.
Right? So no, I'm too old to rap now, so I stopped. But anyway,
that was every hustler's best pastime.
Yeah,
though, like.
but listen, it taught you like the writing rhymes in jail made me become a master of the English language. Right, so wanting to know words, I studied the thesaurus, I studied the dictionary, I studied all different types of things, and in studying those things, it opened up my ability to be like, I didn't even know I could learn. So now, but that's another story, right? So anyway, the A Father's Love came about. We did a web series about a father's love. So I did my story with my daughter to get it out, and I saw guys from.
I need that.
Hello, calling you. Hello, calling you on the air. It's the great debate.
What's good? It's Mr. from Money and Violence. What's good? Respect you.
This is the respect. Yeah.
What's good?
I'm watching.
So
thanks for plugging in.
Right. So
I'm plugging in. I feel where you coming from. I like the fact that you changed it. You turned it positive. You took the negative energy and turned it positive.
Yeah, that's That's a fact. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. I know Mo and I know Princess. Those are my people. So I know who you are, but we haven't had a chance to ever meet personally. But I respect the fact that you gotta respect your jaw. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about that jaw respect. So anyway, so the web series that I started, A Father's Love, is on YouTube. I only did 3 episodes. But it was enough. It was therapeutic enough for me to stop at 3, right? So, but I was inspired by A Father's Love. The clothing part started because Princess, she played Shiesty Shay on there. She's like a sister to me, right? So she had on a
wait, hold on. A caller. Do you want to say anything else to Maurice or anybody on the panel?
Shout out to We Are the Brand, you already know, and yo, keep doing your thing. You already know, man. I'm tuning in.
Peace, King. We looking to see you on something.
We need that Money and Violence back.
We looking to see you on something else, King. We looking to see you on something else.
I got my podcast, Jaw Breaking News. Just go to Jaw Breaking News on Instagram. Follow that, and then they'll know when we're launching our first episode.
He keeping it consistent.
Yes, and I thank you for the plug too.
All right, no problem. Take care.
Peace, King. So I saw her with the shirt on. It said Money and Violence, and I was like, you know what? Let me get T-shirts that say A Father's Love on it for the people on the set.
Okay.
And once I did that, I saw people gravitated towards it, and I always thought that I was a kind of fly kind of dude. I get fresh, so I'm like, you know what? I know where to get garments from. Let me just go get it and put stuff on certain things. And I met a guy that's an embroiderer, and I just started. It just went from there. So I wasn't actually trying to do clothes. I was actually trying to express, get off of my heart the pain that I felt with my daughter. You know what I mean? And it turned into clothes. So this is not even what I really do.
So, Kwame, what is it about a father's love that would gravitate to a universal generation of people? Like, you know, because you guys are not catering to just adults, right?
No, not at all.
Teens. And
Yes.
So tell me, what is it about your brand that will cater to all mass amount of people?
First off, I don't rhyme, never did.
Thank God.
I think it can help from a perspective of just knowing that a father's important, you know. And I went through some of the same pains that Mo was talking about as far as not having a father around at all times, grew up in a single parent home. And one promise I made to myself is that from that pain, I said to myself, if I have kids, I would never, you know, I would always be there. I would never do anything like that, you know. I don't know why things happen the way they happen. You know, we don't know what our parents been through. You know, we don't know as kids why they couldn't contribute or whatever pains they went through emotionally, why they couldn't do it, you know, what they had to do personally. But I just feel like it's a good message, and kids just need to know that you know, it's important. Both parents are important in the home.
Can I say this really quickly? He's a modest guy, right? So this is, you know, this is not what he usually do, but he getting into the building because he's very integral to what's going on with this brand. But he is an excellent father. Like, this guy is an excellent father. He goes to work every day, and he moved his family from one point to the next point. They own a home in Jersey, like a home, an actual home. I don't own a home yet, but I've seen this man take his family from an apartment into a home, and his kids are well behaved, good, doing good in school type of kids. So he exemplifies what a father's love is.
I was gonna say that he exemplifies. So I mean, you're like the walking brand.
That's
literally.
exactly. That's
yeah,
exactly.
I try to be. But what I tell my kids from small is that I tell them that I didn't have my father there, and I tell them just as much as I'm teaching them, I'm learning at the same time. So I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. We're all going to learn how to do this together.
Right.
But he's there.
But I'm there. Yeah.
So how do you market? How do you get the Harlem and all these wolves and how do you get people to buy into the brand?
So that's my job. A lot of the kids in the community, like, I'm an educator. So I've been in the streets with the Willie Lynch letter. I've been in the streets with the ISIS papers. I be outside with information. My
viewers is like, what?
I've been doing that. I've been doing that way before I even thought about the movie. So I moved to Harlem in 1997. So I've always been on some real conscious stuff. When I was locked up, I got lessons, and I realized that we were tricked and bamboozled into believing that we are our own enemy, and we the greatest trick the devil ever did was convince God's people that they're not his people. So when I got those messages and I got specific information when I was locked up, it's my life's mission to make sure every young man and woman that I come in contact with have knowledge of who they are before our inception in this country. Black history doesn't start with slavery. Black history starts in Africa, right? So I'm not gonna get all off into that, but in the community, people mess with the brand because they know I love them. So I lead with love. So when I go every block I go to, I'm like, you a father, son? They like, yeah. Or if I see you with your kids, I'll just give you a hat. Like the sister said, sometimes you got to give away the stuff. So I'm probably like 10,000 in with 7,000 giveaway, right? Just because I want people to wear it. So some people that you might see with it, they might not have paid for it.
Okay.
But the person that introduced us, he always paid for it.
That's my brother, and
He
he spoke super. But I was like, yo, I gotta have them on. When he told me how your story,
yeah, son does. He ain't no sucker. You know how Harlem give it up. Harlem give it up. The money thing ain't a thing. You know what I mean? Even if they don't got it.
I mean, but that block alone.
Yeah, it's not. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's just the love that I have for the community that they giving back to me, and not just because of the clothes. It's because of what I'm dedicated. I'm rooted in this culture in a way that a lot of people don't understand, but I'm rooted in this culture. I'm willing to give my life for the liberation of the minds of our young men and women. So that's what allows me to move.
You're in such a different lane than what an average clothing brand lane is, because you know, there's a lot of different ways to market. But for you to just market off of basically what you're saying, a father's love, like
that's it.
seeing people with their kids, getting them involved, right? What do you see the vision of your brand? Do you think that's going to be able to help it grow?
So now as I elevate, I'm elevating in different facets of my life. So the clothes is just one thing that I have going on, right? So a father's love, again, I'm in the jails. So now I'm getting calls from different government agencies that want my program. I have a curriculum. It's called the Father's Love Personal Development Institute, and it's being I'm getting contracted by different entities to have the program. So that's what I'm focusing on. So now I'm pulling my brother-in-law and different people in my family to take over that for me, because this is not really, I like it, but this is not what I want to do. But what I see also, I think I'm a visionary in a sense. So I'm gonna do we're gonna do a upscale line. So now I want to get into suits. I want to get young men into wearing things that are I want them to know what and how you pronounce it, an ascot tie. I want ascot, right? I want to introduce our young brothers to things.
Fashion contests.
Some seersucker suits and things that elevate them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna make a start an elevated line and then keep it moving. So that's what I envision.
So now, because I want to bring in the next brand in, Mike. You're gonna stay here, and then I want to get into price point and distribution.
Okay.
So before we bring in the next brand label in, tell our viewers where can they check out your lines, your IG page, and let the viewers know where they can go check out your lines.
I'm gonna let the king go first, so we come back this way.
No, he ain't going nowhere. He's staying.
Okay.
You guys, and then you're gonna switch, and then everybody's coming back to the table. So you want to tell people where they can check out the lines at?
You can catch me on Instagram. It's Lord Shah 78. It's LAWDSHA number 78.
People will be texting me
Yeah,
like, I don't see him.
We spell it different.
Right.
For me, it's a father's love. On Facebook, it's a Father's Love 54, but we got the website too, so it'll give you a full scope of the things that I do. So it's a fatherslove54.com. fatherslove54.com is the website, and the Facebook is a Father's Love spelled backwards. I don't even know. I can't even do it.
Okay.
But Instagram, a Father's Love 54.
You guys, I just want y'all to sit tight. I want to bring y'all back on the round table.
Yes, ma'am.
But next up, we got We Are the Brand coming up. My West Side Connect family. I'm Rima. This is the Great Debate. We be right back.
And it's lit.
Down, face up.
DJ Smooth Ski.
Face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the.
Come on, tease me, baby. Turn around and just tease me, baby. You got what I want and what I need, baby.
Let me hear you say,
please.
Let me hear you say,
please. Please me, baby. Turn around and just tease me, baby. You got what I want and what I need, baby.
Let me hear you say,
please.
Let me hear you say,
please.
Lollipop it, twerking in some J's on the dance floor. No in the way. I take my time with it. Bring you close to me. Don't want no young dumb. Better pick me like we listening to Jodeci. I was trying to lay low, taking it slow. Well, I'm freaking again. Hey, gotta celebrate. If your man look good, but put him away. If you can sweat the weave out, you shouldn't even be out. There no reservations at the I'm gonna ride it, do it just how you like it tonight. And after that, let's do it one more time.
Girl, I ain't one for begging, but now you got me begging. Please me, baby. Turn around and just tease me, baby. You got what I want and what I need, baby.
Let me hear you say,
please.
Let me hear you say,
please.
DJ Smooth Ski.
Pop it, bounce.
good, ain't he? Smooth, I might need you to come in live in the studio set. I think we might be doing we might switch it up and have some live DJs come in every now and then. That might be a good option.
Why not?
So I'm your girl Rayma, and we are back. I am holding it down, Deborah Coco. I need you back ASAP, baby girl.
Doing a good job, sis.
Thank you. It's a lot of pressure though. So now we have our next clothing brand label. Can you please introduce yourselves? I'm so proud of you.
I guess I'll start first. Russell, Worldwide R, whatever you want to call me. We are the brand clothing. My partner Eric.
Vaughn Allen. We are the brand. Harlem, New York, Bronx, New York, worldwide.
Yeah.
Global.
So tell us a little bit about your brand and your brand's vision and how did it come about?
Want me to start?
You sure?
I'll start. Well, my partner here, I knew he was seasoned in the business for a while, you know. And I came to him with a plan. I wanted to start a t-shirt company. You know what I mean? And he embedded in me that we could take it bigger than just a t-shirt thing. He was like, why not start a full online? I said, hey, why not? You know, so it basically started from there. And the vision was to not only be a t-shirt brand, but a full clothing line. We don't like the word urban.
Right.
We don't like to be boxed into the urban thing because we feel we're very diverse in what we do. So
actually good quality. I see it all the way from here.
Yeah, thank
Great
you.
Quality.
Thank you. We appreciate
Thank you
that.
very much.
And that's pretty much where it started. So we took it from there, put our head down, started working. You know, had a lot of support behind it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole name came about. We was kind of fighting with it, trying to figure out where our lane was at. And we just said one day, we are the brand. Who represents us better than us? Really no one. So that's where we took it. You know what I'm saying? And we just put our head down, started working from there.
Eric, what's your background in fashion? Like what give us a little piece inside of what is your background in fashion?
Where do I begin? I mean, it's a short story, I say. Playing basketball, in love with sports, always, you know, kind of peeping jerseys and things like that. Started with sketching jerseys and things of that nature, and basically it evolved into sketching full-on, you know, garments, outfits, and things of that nature. And so it was, you know, kind of an evolution from looking at sports, designing, you know, outfits for athletes into, you know, everyday outfits. Being in fashion was more or less, I say, a statement to me, and so it just evolved.
Okay. So now, what is your target audience for your brand? Like, who do you target? Is it young audience? Is it, you know, multi? Like
Definitely multi. From an age range anywhere from 15 to 55. You know, we really try not to put a cap or a limit on us at any extent.
It's a wide demographic simply because when we first started out, as he said, he came with the idea of doing t-shirts. And my background, obviously, when I said sports, I didn't get into detail, but it was more that evolved into expressing myself in that lane. So I went to school for a couple years, studied, got my degree, and basically honed my skill in graphic design and fashion design. So I told him, you know, with my background in graphic design and fashion design, I can, you know, help cultivate your idea of t-shirts into something bigger. I had already started a couple of brands independently with a friend of mine, and I didn't feel it, so to speak, in terms of kind of the hustle and bustle, one man, you know, type of thing. So, you know, what he brought to me was appealing at the time. We didn't have a name, he didn't have a name, and so I basically was like, yo, there's nothing right now in our area that people could connect to. And when he mentioned we had a brand, I was like, that's crazy, because it is an actual fact. You know, one of the things that I kind of got sidetracked by was brands. You know, kind of checking myself going into the marketplace, you know, buying brands, whether, you know,
Nike,
you already know the brands.
Adidas,
and so
is there a particular brand that y'all like not, idolize?
Pattern-
Is there
pattern
a
ourselves
brand that you
after?
look to?
Not
guidance?
necessarily. What I was getting to was basically our love for fashion started from dressing and playing. How could I say? Playing sports, and what comes after is basically.
Let me chime in. Let me chime in a little bit, Rima. You know, we was always on the party scene. We was always out and about. We always felt like the regular. I could get fresh.
Right.
I know how to dress. You know what I mean? But we wanted to get away from supporting brands that didn't support us. You know what I mean? And we really felt like the only way to do that was to create our own, something that could speak to our people and abroad. You know, and from there, we just started working.
What was the push though? How did it come from the vision to actually the shirts or the hats? Like, what was the difference of I just have a vision and now this is a creation?
Wow, great question. I don't know. You want to chime in?
Yeah,
on that?
I think the vision started from understanding that we don't have a voice in the market as far as finances go. We support everybody out there. When we say we mean we.
Exactly.
And we can't say cultural anymore because when you look across the globe, we is now a bigger gambit than just color. So when we discussed what we was discussing was just basically like we spend all these dollars and we don't bring anything back. So even if we making shirts ourselves, making hats ourselves, we would bring back a small portion of whatever we spending out there, even if we designing it for ourselves, back to the table. So if we can get people that believe in what we doing to bring, you know what I'm saying, their support to the table, whatever that was, whether it was, you know, sewing something for us, a campaign with us, a share, whatever it was, do something that represents what we're trying to represent. And so that spoke to, you know, the immediate core. But obviously you can't just bust out with a clothing line, you can't just bust out with any old thing and not be centered around anything. So the name We Are the Brand resonated with me in the sense that we already understand how we giving it up in the industry and how it's exploited for dollars in terms of our swagger. You understand what I'm saying? So the We Are the Brand resonated with me in that aspect. And the only thing that I saw to do with that was capitalize in a way that we couldn't be exploited, meaning we have all the talent, we have all of the know-how, but we don't have the resources. So at least if we can begin to start supporting our own vision, which is what we're doing, and begin to get some traction, we begin to, you know, go forward. So we didn't necessarily have a point by point kind of thing. It was kind of evolution. And so as we, you know, kind of branded it or went through our brand recognition phase, which is just marketing, putting it over here and there, it began to resonate with those that were around us and say, what's that?
How hard was it for you guys to get people to get into the brand and start actually wearing it? Was it a hard process, or was it a hard process, or was it an easier process?
Well, something we still going through now. Not really a hard process, but more of putting out the message of we and representing us in every facet of that, you know. So like I said, it wasn't a hard grind, but for people to really get the message of supporting homegrown brands such as Father Love and others, you know, it's very important for us to get behind those brands to make them as successful as your bigger brands. You know what I mean?
It was hard, and it is hard. There's no lying about that. And so
No, and I didn't mean to cut you off on that, but that's the reason why I wanted my beat to be on panel, right? Because now I want to ask you, transition-wise, you have worked with some of the highest brands out, and then you hear these brothers' stories. How difficult is it or you feel, in your opinion, how difficult is it for an up-and-coming fashion line to get to the point of where you were like getting artist clothing, that type of line? What are some of the difficulties that they face in doing that?
Well, you know, starting off with what they say, just adding on to it, it's always going to be hard doing anything that you're doing as far as that pertains to building your own brand, right? I was always told that if it was easy,
everybody be
would
doing
it,
it.
right? So, you know, what my transition was, basically, what was hard for me was because starting my brand is Bogart by Mike B. Bogart is building organizations geared around real deals or designs, depending on what I'm working with, right? But I thought it was going to be easy because from a stylist standpoint, working with all the clients and everyone in the industry, I'm like, okay, cool. Everybody's doing these lines. Everybody got a clothesline, the Virgils, the Kanyes. Everybody got a clothesline. But to yourself, you're already feeling like, okay, I know I can do some fly shit like them or even better. But what I found is that how do I put this? Nobody really supports you until you hot.
Absolutely.
Damn. I'm gonna need you to repeat that. That's universal. That ain't even
Absolutely.
just fashion. But I'm gonna need you to repeat that.
Nobody really supports you unless you hot, until you're hot. And when I say that, it's because, you know, you always got your fam and your loved ones that's always gonna be there for you. But you know, sometimes in this game, you feel like as you're building your brand and you're putting this together, you feel like automatically it's gonna pop, like overnight, whatever the case may be. You know you're gonna put the work in, but sometimes you just feel like it's just gonna pop a little bit easier than what's going on because you basically feel like there's certain people that is around in your circumference that's gonna be there for you and to help you out. Now, me just learning that, I'm okay with that because I was never one to ask anybody for anything anyway to begin with. Coming up in this game, I've always been willing to put this work in and to grind. The first one to be there, the last one to get out. So, you know, I was always willing to put the work in. My transition was, you know, the only difference with me is I never wanted to do a clothing company because I felt like the game was kind of getting a little bit oversaturated with brands. And you know, as a stylist, I felt like, you know, while everybody was baking the cake, I wanted to develop product that would pretty much be the icing. So while everybody was doing their apparel collection, I wanted to create accessories, right? Plus, at the same time, as a stylist, and me being the clothes whore that I am, you know, like from Ralph, Dior, Wang & Tang, whatever. You know, I've always loved all these different brands, but as a stylist, I didn't want to become, I guess, biased and, you know, feeling like, you know, I had to come outside wearing my own brand every day, head to toe. And I couldn't do that.
But isn't that the grind, Russell?
That is the grind.
I felt, and I told him this, we wouldn't stop until everything that we wore inside and out was our brand. Now, that's more of a discipline and a proving something to yourself thing than it is anything else at this point for us.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Because we've done everything else as it relates to the other brands and supporting them. But to me, there was a sanctity that, for me, that when I came out, knowing that the threads that was on my body, some of that is coming back to me. You know, so it's a mindset, understanding that what we're doing here is an investment in yourself.
Right.
And so, yes, that sometimes, and we used to have these awkward moments when we would pull up on one another and check each other out to see if we was, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Repping.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, and so and it's like, what did you wear your uniform to work today? So whether we was meeting, and so, you know, he's the polo guy. He would come to the meetings with the polos. You know, I'm the guy that come with the, you know, the suit, the head to toe coordination thing. But if I didn't, he'd look at me kind of side-eye like, what's going on here? Like, all right, we know we checking one another. But the thing is that if that didn't exist, or if that existed with each of us in the commercial space, we challenge ourselves to go to people that share the same ideals with us and spend money with them, whether we like it or not, because you need it. I'm just gonna put a little something on it just to brand it after, you know what I'm saying?
But that was gonna be my next question, right? Because Russell, you know a lot of people, right? I mean, you would assume that I do a clothing line like Mike B just said.
Right.
People just gonna buy into it.
Right.
But it's like also you just said nobody really cares until you're hot.
Absolutely.
And so, what is it that? Because you wear it, you invest in it, but what is it that will have your homeboy be like, yo, I got $60 for a shirt, or I got, not giving it away, but like actually have them start to actually purchase product?
It's fire.
Right. Well, we was always mindful of quality over quantity. You know, we understand that our people like nice things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just about the t-shirt itself. You want it to feel good. You want it to fit good. You want to feel good in it. You know what I mean? And that's the message also, you know, not just saying it's just a blank t-shirt, I'm going to put my name on it, here you go. Okay, we was challenged by that at first. Everybody didn't buy into it, but that doesn't stop your grind. You got to keep going. You got to steady improve yourself. You got to want more. You got to grind harder. And we know, like, there's no limit to us. We want to do suits and ties. We want to do shoes and boots, belts and bags, because we know all of those things are essential in our everyday living. You buy Gucci, you buy Louis, you buy Prada. Why? Because it's good quality. It makes you feel good. You're shining in it. You grab other people's attention in it. And those are the things that we wanted to put forth in our brand.
Well, that's actually a good concept, actually. All right, I want to have everybody try to squeeze in. I know we usually don't have this many people, but we're on YouTube, so it captures the whole.
That's what's up.
Right.
That's what's up.
Everything in the room?
Well, you guys are off camera now. Once you come to the table, then we'll everybody will be
glad to
captured.
make
That joint's
room.
on too?
Yeah,
Glad to make room.
So they kind of.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to huddle, but you know, just come to the round table. So we doing a live round table now with everybody.
Yeah.
So while everybody's coming to the table, I'm just gonna whatever, y'all can come here too. This is fine. While we are all coming to the round table, be careful. I'm gonna give the number again for you guys to call. Again, this is the Great Debate. We're doing a live panel on fashion designs. We have a sample coming up where every fashion designer in here has their own. First of all, I'm gonna have to get it together, okay? I'm one deep and I'm stumbling over my words, so I'm just gonna have to get this together. Okay. Again, it's not easy what I'm doing right now.
No, not at all. And you're good at what you're doing.
I appreciate it. I'm breathing. That's what I'm doing, Maurice. I'm breathing.
You're making it look seamless.
Yeah, seriously, like you're good at what you do.
Thank you guys. So if you guys want to call in, I got some people in Hot Atlanta. Y'all know y'all usually call in. Y'all can call in because y'all in Hot Atlanta. I know I got some people in Atlanta watching.
Tap in.
The number again is 347-708-0216. Again, if you want to call in live and speak to the panel, everybody's at the table right now. The lines are open. Again, our telephone number is 347-708-0216. So right now we have We Are the Brand, which is CEO. It's fine. My voice sounds so weird. So we have We Are the Brand with CEO Skrilla and Eric. We have A Father's Love with CEO Maurice and Kwame. And we have Poetic Empire Clothing with CEO Cordell and Yolanda. Or should I say YO? Yolanda. Okay.
Crowned by Poetic as well.
Oh, and Queen Crowned by Poetic. And we also have a special guest right now, veteran of the game, I will say. I will give him that. He's been my friend. We both started off interning. Mike B. We come a long way, Mike B. We come a long way. Shout out to June Balloon, Groovy, Shan, and our old team. We used to have some very fun times together. But it's
don't forget my brand, Bogart by Mike V.
I just keep, and I keep leaving you out, right? Mike, can you tell the viewers where they can check you out? Because I'm sure that you're going to be getting a lot of DMs asking you questions about knowledge. Because people, even though everybody at this table right now are so gifted, when people hear celebrities, they tend to draw to that. So, again, this is not about you working for Puff. This is about the education behind you working for Puff, right? And so, with that being said, can you please let people know? I mean, you be all over. You moving. So, give the people a quick idea where they can go and see your brand and view your brand.
Well, you can basically catch me in a hood near you. You can catch me at iBogart. You can catch me at Bogart by Mike B. That's all social media. That's bogartbymikeb.com. Right now, my brand is starting off. My brand is all leather accessories. All right. So what it is it's hats, it's bags, it's gloves, it's ties, it's ponchos, it's a long tank top. But right now, what I'm doing to build the brand is I started off with a collaboration, Cockpit USA. For those of you that are not familiar with Cockpit USA used to make all the Avirexes for us back in the days. And they also make all the they also make all the outerwear for the U.S. Armed Forces. To familiarize y'all a little bit, they did the entire wardrobe for Top Gun the movie. So what I've done with Cockpit USA, I've done 2 shearlings. I did a waistline and a 3/4 shearling. And I also did a Top Gun bomber jacket.
Hold right there, because you're doing a little bit too fast. Education is key, right? I'm always thinking of my young viewer who is lost, right? I'll act like I'm that viewer listening, like, wait, what he said? So how did you get into that? Like, how do you market your brand to elevate to go to like a production company where they do movies and things like that? What are the first steps that you would do?
Well, how I built my brand was, to be honest with you, it's been 25 years now, God bless, right?
So you made a lot of connections.
And yeah, so, throughout the years, how I built my brand was, at first I never knew I wanted to be a stylist. But like I said, I was always into gear. I always carried myself in a certain manner, and I've always dressed for the part of the movie that I wanted to play. And throughout the years as a stylist and styling these different clients of mine, from Puff to Chris Brown to Luda to Bron to Nas, and being the
you really have had some really big clients.
That's definitely an A-list.
No, yeah, that's why I wanted to have them come. And again, it's not about the celebrities, it's about the knowledge that you have from being with these celebrities. You can share that with them and help them grow. You can share that with somebody else in the hood who's looking at you as an idol. It's all about us all. We crabs in a bucket, and I only have this show to try to break that mentality. It's going to be crabs in a bucket, but I just told somebody today who was down and out, who also is trying to launch their brand, and they're watching. I told them I wouldn't even blow them up, but they were down and out because this is their second line that they received, and it's irregular. And they wasting their money on irregular clothing is becoming frustrating to the person. And, their thing is, even their own family is like mocking them now and clowning them. And when they go into the meetings, they're a little nervous because they're trying to get distribution, but your stuff ain't right. You really can't go into a meeting trying to get distribution. And my advice to them was, beyond everything, you have to have self-confidence. And I'll let you speak, but I just want to say this because there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. Or remember, maybe they heard it and they don't remember. But when you walk in the room, it is never about who likes you.
That's right.
It is about you liking the people in the room. And as long as you hold that confidence to me, you halfway through the battle. You could sell a shirt, a Garten Crottrell, Bill Cosby shirt, if you market it correctly.
That's a fact. Because there's definitely a customer for it.
So, saying that to be said, I just want to go back to self-confidence, because you guys are giving knowledge from a brand label, but I think there's a lot of people out there that are discouraged, that are looking at y'all like, well, they got it all together. And you have to all get to a place in order to get it all together.
Well, first of all, to tell your friend, with time brings experience, right? And, before you get to the top of the mountain, you really got to climb and take one step at a time. But I would also tell them, those folks that's laughing now, they definitely gonna cry later.
I told them that.
So, real talk, like I said, I've been doing this for 25 years. I didn't just come about with this. And, my brand has only been around for about a year now. And, I didn't even know that I wanted to do a brand. That just came from me. Like they said, they wanted to, basically rep themselves. And, and for those of you, I'm speaking on We Are the Brand and A Father's Love.
And Poetic Empire.
And Poetic Empire. So I say that to say because for me it was just different because I came from a different dynamic as a stylist.
Right.
And how I built my brand was because everybody started seeing how I would dress these different clients. Now, dressing these different clients and working with these different clients in a different aspect, like for instance with Jay, I probably was Jay's personal stylist for like maybe 3 months.
And that's a long time because people don't know how difficult Jay-Z is. I remember somebody giving him the wrong shoes and he wigged out.
That happened by default because I was originally hired as, I guess like a co-creative director, but a lifestylist for Rockaway. And how that trickle effect became was I just caught him at a time where he was in between stylists. And
you viewers, you hear that?
And,
hustle.
And, it was one day I knew he was coming into the office and I had some shit already. And I just basically, my guy, shout out to Jamil Spencer, who was the brand marketing director, brought me in. And I was like, yo, Mills, like, I got that shit for Son. Like, when Son come to the office, we just gonna lay it out on the conference table and just whatever he bites at. So it's funny, but, I didn't think that Jay was really paying attention at the time, right? So what happened was he took a few pieces. He took the TF, he took the Dolce real quick, but then he was like, yo, I'll get back to you tomorrow on the pieces that I like. 7 days went by already, and I was like, yo, Mills, like, yo, I gotta close out on this bill, like, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, he was like, yo, Son said he's just gonna write you a check and he's just gonna keep everything. Boom. From there, the following week, he was calling me again looking for more stuff. So that there turned into working with Steve Stout. Then working with Steve Stout opened the door for me that when I had moved to LA, I moved to LA because I caught a wave working with E! News and Terrence J. So that there.
How did you hustle that though? How do you hustle a E! News? Because this is what's important even to the brands that we have here, right? How do you hustle a E! News account?
So what happened was I was working at BET, and when one.
Do you just walk into there?
Well.
like how do you? I don't know. Do you just walk? Do I have clothes? Do I just walk in the building? Because I know where BET's at. I can just go up in there.
All right. So, how I got to BET was shout out to Texana Watts. Texana was the head stylist and lead stylist at 106 and Park. Texana and I were working at Bad Boy together, where we were when the tour started for We Invented the Remix. We talking the second tour now. Tex and I were both doing the entire tour together. So from there, Tex and I.
This is inspirational.
Great,
I mean,
great information.
That's a fact.
So basically, what I'm trying to get at is building relationships and holding on to relationships, because character is your biggest asset. Like I said, I'd rather have $20 in my pocket with relationships and still be able to move around.
oh my God! Whoa! So we have a lot of viewers listening, right? And there is a lot of mentality of crabs in the bucket. And what you are saying right now will help so many people, right? Because those are real words that you are repeating. And I didn't want to interrupt you, but they were so real that I need you to just slow it up a little bit when you repeat that, because...
All right, so what happened was... All right. When I was leaving Bad Boy, it was hard for me to get out there as a stylist. because everybody felt that styling Puff or styling Bad Boy, I was being labeled as just Puff stylist. But people really weren't understanding and seeing Puff's dynamic from being the rapper to being the music mogul to being the marketing mogul to being the philanthropist to being even down to helping him design his shoe that he ran in for the marathon to him turning his cap backwards to being a rapper, but yet later on that day we got to throw on a blazer for the Vote or Die campaign to wearing a tuxedo for a black tie affair to now turn around, I got to style Black Rob or Shine for their video, right?
Do you guys get what he, I mean, of course you
Absolutely.
do, but it's about expanding the brand.
Right.
Right?
So during this time, it was hard for me to build my brand because people had me locked in a box. So what I had to do was, I had to get with, shout out to Brandy, who was the first person that gave me a chance in becoming my agent and developing me and turning me into this fashion stylist for the industry. So there was a time where
I heard you don't need agents. Are agents important? Is managers important for these guys?
Nah.
Is that a good investment in money?
I can't say nah. I can't say nah because it was an agent that helped me that was very, very instrumental into getting me to where I am today and building my brand. And different people have different stories depending on who they are and how they've come up. Some people don't need a brand. Some people don't need an agent or a
Eric,
manager.
you was gonna say something?
I had a question, and I was curious to know if that, if the success rate varied based on if the startup company or the person looking to get on had X amount of dollars to do whatever that plan was, or having a manager gave them the play that they needed to execute and then get to that next level.
Well, it was kind of crazy because my Brandy, like it was a different type of thing where she was my agent and she was basically my mouthpiece. She helped me develop my portfolio, right? So what I told Brandy, I was like, yo, Brandy, like whatever it is, if you know, I know I'm not gonna be able to start with these big artists now, but let's just take these little names as they start
and build your momentum.
And build up.
Right.
So I started with Yo Gotti, then it went to Pitbull, then it went to T-Pain. And mind you, these cats weren't even monsters.
Who they are now, right? Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, from T-Pain, then, you know, one day, God bless Groove. You know, Groove, you know, I used to...
Shout out to Groovy Lil.
I used to rollerblade to Groove's crib every morning. Because, like, I was in a transition
where... from Mobs now?
No. That's, you talking about, that's, that's
AZ.
That's Gangsta Lil.
Right, Gangsta Lil. Right, thank you.
That's the old Harlem right there. That's the old Harlem.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Mob Style.
Right, absolutely.
Mob Style. But like, you know, I was going through a transition where I didn't really know where to turn next. And one day Groove was like, yo, B, shut the fuck up, man. Like, what I need you to do is show up to this photo shoot. I got this kid. He's about to be the next Mike. And I'm like, who the fuck is he talking about to be the next Mike? Like, you know, we've already had Mike, then I feel like we had Usher, right? So I get to
he
this,
took him on CB.
yeah, so I get to this shoot, and it's this tall, lanky, light-skinned kid flipping off
They
tables.
worked his first project. I remember that.
And it was crazy because I didn't really get it until I saw it. And when I seen this kid, I said, oh,
ain't nobody bigger than Chris Brown.
Nah.
This, and God bless this kid. This kid is very, he's something special. Even still to this day, I truly believe that he's the next thing closest to Mike for this generation.
He better than Mike because he dance better, I think.
I think dance-wise, I definitely believe that because Chris took it. I would say
multiple
genres. Yeah, he took it I feel like he took it to where Mike left off at. And God bless, a lot of people don't even know that last tour that Mike was about to do, Chris was the only opening act for Mike. So when we got the word that Mike passed away, we were on our way to Mike's crib for a meeting for the tour before we was about to go out. And they told us to turn around and postpone the flick because they said Mike wasn't feeling well.
I want to ask you,
How we got the news about Mike is we turned on the TV, and that's how we got the news.
I just want to stick on the topic because you know we can
sorry,
easily
my bad.
rave away from it.
So
rest in peace to Michael Jackson.
No doubt.
But I
So
want to ask you
those
though, how is it to transform? Left? Oh, we only got 15 minutes left. Y'all gonna have to do y'all samples in a second.
All right, so real quick, what I wanted to do is to build my brand. Is there was a point where people were feeling like because I was coming from Puff that I was gonna be too expensive and they wouldn't be able to afford me. So what my hustle was is instead of charging people for $10 a pop, my hustle was charging them for $1 for 10 jobs to get that $10. You dig what I'm saying? So that was my.
But people think that and that's a good example
So
to
I
bring
had to
up. But
take
they
a
think
step
it's hustling
backwards to
backwards,
move
right?
forward. Nah, it's not hustling backwards.
It's about taking advantage of opportunity, though.
It's like selling 2 for $5. We got hustlers in here.
Exactly,
We're
or
selling
5 for 20.
Exactly.
2 for $5 or whatever, $2 bags or whatever.
But
it
is that the right way? Because I have DJs, I have DJ panels. It's really the DJs who have this. I have this discussion with the most, right? And DJs are like, you can't hire another DJ for your party, Rima, at $200. And then you coming to me, you expecting me to take $250, and I'm not a $250 DJ. And so they get mad at the DJs that I could book for $200 because they fucking the game up now. Because now you're not gonna pay me my $400. You could go get a $200 DJ. So is it like that in the fashion world? Like if somebody's selling they
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it all depends on what level you're on.
That's what I was
gonna
say.
Because we independently we don't have control over manufacturing. Right. Once we get control over manufacturing, the game has changed.
The price. That's a fact.
The game has changed, and
he's right about the manufacturing part. We could lower the prices when we manufacture it ourselves, but for me, what it represents, I'm charging for what it represents. Like I'm charging for all of the work that I put in, who I am. Just honestly, when I
charge so much for what they did to Cold Crush.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
So what I do,
the culture,
I'm
baby.
asking you. I might ask you for $50 for a T-shirt because Versace or Louis could ask you for $500 for a T-shirt, and you're gonna give it to them
without a problem.
But I want to digress a second. Back to the management part, right? So the reason I said no initially is because I read a post by Kiss, and Kiss was like, "Don't get no management."
I saw that
because you can do it yourself.
But Kiss had a manager originally that got him signed.
Right, but so let me
still got a manager.
Yeah, let me go back though. I got a person that's in my corner that's in the game that's in other areas, and the notion, her notion is, that if you're doing it yourself, you're too small. Right, so if you're brokering your own deals and you're calling people yourself, people are not willing to rock with you like that. But if I got him calling and he's speaking on my behalf,
right?
And
it's a different professional level.
So making yourself look bigger than what you.
If you're doing it yourself, you're too small. So,
and not only that, it's like I'm signed to Rock Nation like back in the day. When I used to work for Jessica, she had all the hottest DJs under one umbrella. So yeah, it was putting Flex at a higher level to get paid because he's now on a team with Biz Markie, Mr. C, SNS, Enough. You got all the hot DJs under one umbrella. That also helps your blend. If I'm a free agent and I sign a Rock Nation right now, I'm probably going to get more than what I would with signing a deal by myself. And I've had this conversation with Kid New. Shout out to DJ Kid New, because I was actually going to start back doing management, DJ management, because I feel like it's avoiding that. And they talk about the price points being lopsided, but you can't do it yourself. Nah. We in a world where everybody think that they could do it yourself. You're not advancing. To me, you need representation to level up.
If you do it yourself with your homeboy, right? Excuse me, really quickly. If say you my peoples, right, and you be like, yo, Mo, I want you to come DJ. and you're gonna talk to me. You're gonna be like, yo, but all I got is $150. But I'd be like, you know what? I don't know. I'm booked. I don't even know what days I'm free.
Right.
Talk to my agent. When you talk to my agent, you're not.
Right.
My agent won't be like, his price is $500.
Right.
If you don't tell my agent that you're gonna give him the $500, I will never even know you spoke to him.
So I was gonna say, it's twofold. Yes, you do need a team, but it needs to be the right team.
Absolutely.
I think as a small brand, when you're first starting out, you want to help your family and your friends. Like, yeah, let's all build, let's all do it together. But sometimes your family and your friends are not the right people to join the team.
Business completely separated.
Exactly. They end up pulling you back instead of propelling you forward. So yes, you do need a village, you do need that team, but it needs to be the right people. It needs to be the right group around you. And I feel like every brand would benefit, and you spoke to that as well, with networking.
Absolutely.
He's had 25 years of networking. We've had 10 years of networking. You know, every company has to start with networking and getting out there, meeting like-minded people, meeting people that want to progress, meeting people that want to put back into the community, because the black community as a whole spends
the most money
collectively, and everyone can get a piece of it.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, even though we're all in fashion, we're still bringing something to the table. We're bringing our own thing. You're bringing your thing. You're bringing your thing. But there's still room for everyone at the round table.
Absolutely.
So we can all come together and network and meet people and introduce each other to people. And hey, how do you get distribution done? Or hey,
we didn't even touch on distribution.
Real quick though, just to touch on something on another.
God, 2 hours go by fast.
When you mention something, when you mention people undercharging and they feel like they fucking the game up. Sometimes nowadays, nobody doesn't want to put the work in.
That's what it really comes down to.
I mean, that's a valid point.
The work speaks for itself.
Yeah, like a lot of people felt like, people come to me, they're like, yo, I want to be a stylist too. And I'll ask them like, why? Because I like shopping. Okay, but that's just 3% of what being a
very
stylist
small
is.
percentage of it,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? People think, okay, because I like shopping, or they go into the store and they see this outfit on the mannequin.
Right, and you
they
pick
can
out
bring
the whole
that
outfit, right?
and put it on somebody. The way it fit money on the mannequin may not fit Eric the same way because his body type, his structure, and
you
just
have to be able to
the
cater
jacket
to
might
your
be
clientele.
a $50,000 jacket. That don't mean it's gonna fit him like that either.
Is it based on personality too?
It's always based on personality and characteristic.
You can't network if you don't have a personality.
I'm talking about styling someone.
Well, for me, how I style somebody and how I keep a client. First of all, I feel like you hiring me because you already know what I do and what I bring to the table. But at the same time, especially if you got a manager, then you got the homeboys, the peanut gallery around and all that. That's gonna be like, yo, son, like you looking wild, fragile, and all that. Like, I gotta bring something to the table that's gonna compliment him.
And make
have the homeboys go, ooh, ah.
Mike, I want to ask you a question.
The management's vision at the same time.
I want to ask you an important question.
Be able to put my splash to it and still have him. Because my biggest fear is coming outside looking like anybody. If I feel like I got the same socks on or belt on, I'm going back in the
Exactly.
But I want to ask you a question, especially for the high profile clients that you had. Everybody should get their clothing together. For the last 5, that's what we're gonna do. I told you. But I want to ask you, how difficult is it when you do have a high maintenance client and they shop around? Like, they use you as a stylist one day, they use Eric as the stylist one day. Like, how do you work with that when you have
I'm cool with that.
You're cool with that?
Because I'm not here to battle or compete with nobody. Like,
right.
At the end of the day, I know my father said they make money every day. You know what I'm saying? So
it's really good, right?
So
the mango dip is crazy.
I'm not going to battle and say, hey, yo, son, you got that kid. So, me personally, I don't have time for it. Like, if you call me for this, I'm grateful, and all I can do is
do your job,
do what I do, and you know, hopefully, God's willing, I see another call after that. But, you know, there's a lot of clients that I work with still to this day that work with other stylists.
Right.
But I feel like they do that because certain stylists bring certain things to the table, and they just want that. They just don't know that Mike B can do that also as well too.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But you know, I'm just cool with that. You know what I mean? So you know, it's
Honestly,
all
I
about
think
giving everybody-
think it's more. We need to start combining our talents a lot more. When you look at the bigger brands, you'd be surprised on how many people are actually behind that one brand. You may think it's one person. You may think it's just a Ralph Lauren,
Right.
but Ralph has a team, a stylist,
Right.
designers. So it's not just Ralph.
Right.
You know, Ralph may get the credit, but he has a team of people under him that come to him with designs and different things like that. So
It's his vision, but you have a team. for
absolutely,
execution.
absolutely, and that's what you need.
Before we show the design real quick, because we down to our last 5 minutes,
Right.
so I want to make sure I get everybody's design. But real quick, from each house brand, I always ask the guests when they are on my panel, give my young viewers one tip that will help them in what you guys are doing if that is their passion of what they want to do. So give the viewers, Russ, one
From my
tip.
standpoint, don't let nobody tell you can't do what you want to do. If you're passionate about it, put your head down, go to work, don't stop grinding.
Maurice?
I would say for me everything is centered around spirituality. You gotta pray and get into that inner voice, listen to the inner voice, and that's the God in you. So get connected to you know, some type of spirituality. To answer your question, let your spirit be your guide.
Eric?
If you don't love it, if it is not a passion, joy, don't do it. It ain't for you. You gotta love it.
Kwame?
Well, I want to piggyback on what he said. You know, don't let anyone tell you can't do something
Right.
because they think they can't do it.
Mike B?
Well, they already said everything.
You got a tip for our young viewer.
You've been out here for 25.
My tip is have a notebook with you, a pen and paper, and
Amen. Amen. Put that work in.
every morning you wake up, have a things to do list, and by the end of the day, you know, when you go home and you look at that things to do list and realize after everything, or even if it's not the end of the day, or by the end of the week, look
Check
at
that
that things
list
to do
off.
list, and every time you execute something, check it off. When you see everything that you've executed, you feel like you're accomplishing. You feel more towards, you're moving to more and more towards a goal. And you gotta have a plan. You gotta have a goal.
That's excellent. Cordell?
Do your homework.
Don't hustle hard, hustle smart. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? And every mistake, just you gotta learn from that.
And I would say don't be afraid to fail. You will always feel good about yourself knowing that you tried something that you truly believe in versus not trying and never knowing.
And I'm just going to end it with saying that no matter who tells you who you are, you have to believe and know who you are. People are going to always tell you what you can't do, what you're not, what you're this, what you're that. You yourself, not your mother, not your kids, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend. You yourself, you have to have an inner voice in yourself to believe that you can achieve.
That's right.
And on that note, they brought some gifts. They're going to show us some Get Fresh. Y'all ready for the Get Fresh for the summer? So we're going to start off,
I don't want to go too crazy.
Yes.
Yeah,
We're gonna
that's
start off.
good.
We're gonna start off with Poetic Empire or Crown. Crown brought some nice raps for us to look at.
So, as I said before, I am Yolanda from Crown by Poetic, and what I do is I sell head wraps. Our head wraps are unique in the fact that they are patterned on one side, but they're fully lined satin on the other. So you have the versatility. This is the wrap that I currently have on my head.
You would never be able to tell it's so dope.
So you have the versatility of wearing it on either side, giving you a total different look.
And for my viewers on live, she has camouflage as well.
Yes,
with the
camo
satin
is
on one
really
side.
this-
Really dope.
Absolutely. And I just want ladies to know that your crown is you. You are your crown. It's not the weave, it's not the natural, it doesn't matter. You can wrap your hair and still walk out and feel confident and beautiful and kill it. You can wear it. Corporate America, my regular 9 to 5 is Corporate America. I work in finance and I wear my wraps to work. And they're professional, they're elegant, they're classy, sexy.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Poetic Empire, for coming in and crown by Poetic. So Father's Love, what y'all have for us?
So these are the jerseys. We got some jerseys that
hard,
are
Dickinson,
yeah, but that's the NFL inspired, right? You know what I mean? So you know, it's just repping. It ain't major yet, but it's definitely something.
I like it though. I like it.
Major, baby.
Yeah.
Everything major.
Everything's major.
Okay, well, so it's major. All right.
I like those.
So we also got spandex for ladies. I think these are dope because they got the thing on the pocket for the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we got growing to do, but we got some things out here for people, right? So we call this the Baller Edition snapbacks.
Ooh, those with some J's is crazy.
You know what I mean? So I got that, and then we got dad hats over there, right? Maybe one dad hat. I got some other things, but I didn't bring everything, so I'm just gonna. This is the Lion King edition. This is really popping, right? So we got the hats done, and I got an artist that put the Lion King on it for the people that are into that.
Lion King is big right now.
Exactly. So that's why we do that, right? So. We growing and we trying to expand and get better things for the people.
I got a website.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everybody's gonna go over their website again before we finish, and then last but not least.
Yeah, brought a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
just
we
to
bought
show
a couple of pieces.
Oh my
So,
God!
the female stuff. Yeah, we do a little. Proper one piece.
I got the onesie for you at the shade.
Hold on, let me stand up for you.
Hey!
If you like.
I see leopards. Hold up.
Let me.
What's real
And
good?
you got the glasses.
Wait, hold up.
They about to shut it down right
Hold
now.
it up to one of these cameras. That's dope.
Know what I mean? Track suits.
That's dope.
We ain't got time for
I love the yellow.
Yeah, but we'll get into it another time.
Well, you know I'm gonna have y'all back.
Leathers,
Check this out, man.
jackets with little snake skins on everything.
My bro Airport couldn't be here and hustle, so I'm gonna have another show. Can you show that to the camera, please?
Blue and white.
Yeah.
I see the picture.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you
Them boys is hot.
Everything we do is pretty much in-house. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can check us out.
Russ, this is really impressive stuff.
I got some things. This is fire.
track suit.
That's fiery.
Yeah.
Golden Challenge.
You guys are way advanced. Way
Yeah, they
advanced.
going already. Y'all doing some different things.
Yeah, y'all doing some different
And
things.
I see that
You got
sequence situation.
a very different
track
range.
suits. Yeah, we try to do a little bit of everything. Hold on, let me show y'all this little leopard combination right here. I don't
I
know.
would wear that for my birthday.
They ready for this drip.
What's
right
the
here, you know what I'm
sequence? Come on,
saying?
y'all gotta show the sequence to the camera.
Dresses. You see the button ups.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
So that one's my takeaway, yeah?
Jeans.
Again, in this one, you could definitely
They
size it
sample.
up.
Definitely talk about some things.
Yeah, then.
All right, so now can you guys just reiterate before we leave where they can check out your clothing line, give your IG page, or where they can go for your
IG, we are the brand _, Facebook. We are the brand. Check us out. DM us. Hit us up.
Father's Love
fatherslove54.com.
and Poetic.
Poetic Clothing Brand, Poetic Empire on over 50 different social network sites. So,
Crowned by Poetic on Instagram and Facebook. www.poeticlothingcompany.com.
Mike B.
BogartWorldwide.com, BogartByMikeB.com, iBogart, all social media, and Bogart by Mike B, all social media.
I'm so mad that we didn't have enough time because I feel like there's so much more that I need to. Yo, these is glasses, you guys. Come on.
Yeah, we doing all that.
You can make it.
So,
Yeah, we doing all that.
so
I see it on the book.
how I'm looking, boys? How I'm looking?
Yeah.
Yeah, those is fire.
So, I want to thank the panel for being on live with us today. This was a lot of work for you, girl. But
killed
we did it. We did it. I want to thank Skrilla,
Thank you.
Eric, Maurice, Kwame, Mike B, Cordell, and Yolanda. I appreciate you guys for coming on the show.
Can I say one thing before we get out of here? To all the brands that's here, we definitely looking to link up with y'all in the future and do some future work. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about.
So that just made my day.
That's what
the show is about.
That's what it is. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Mike B, I want to give a special thanks to you, my friend. We've been friends for years. I want to thank you for coming to the show and giving some knowledge. Hopefully I get you and Groovy Lou to come back. Veteran in this game.
That's a fact.
Big time. So I want to thank you for coming out. I thank all of you guys for all of your lines. I wish nothing but the best, nothing but success. My name is Rima. This was a great show, and thanks for tuning in. It's a great debate.
Already.
Face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up.
DJ Smoothski.
Face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the face down, face up. That's the way we like the. Come on,
tease me, baby. Turn around and just tease me, baby. You got what I want.